All through the north as I walked forth for to view the shamrock plain, I stood a while where nature smiled amid the rocks and streams. On a matron mild I cast my eyes beneath the fertile vale, and the song she sang as she walked on was me poor old Granuaile.
Chunker. Lushakti Avilaku Chunkaracht. Breaktiacht. Aline. Diniata Chunkarak. Heel me Garev me Arkanaku. Brother Chunker.
Thank you. But not many of you know what that means, do you? I cannot blame you. You did not ship native speakers across the globe. You did not take it out of the schools. You did not make it illegal to speak Irish. But the truth is, you were never after our language. Neither were the British. They were after our identity. By banning the words our history was recorded in, the British hoped we forget where we came from, who we are. But I fought back, not with guns or homemade explosives, but with this pen. I pull from the wreckage our beautiful language, our stories, our myths, poems, and legends, and many that have otherwise been forgotten if I have not wrote it in English. Now they could be illegally told in every Irish household, so the country never forgets what came before us. So we can always tell our story. So that's why my plays exist at all. First performed on the Abbey stage, which I helped build for much of the same reason. Those floorboards were meant for stories by Irish people, for Irish people. And the rising of the moon walked across the plants for the first time in 1907. I set the scene in a vaguely described key, hoping the audience would imagine it happening somewhere close to them. I jumped straight into action, with a sergeant set and a fugitive on the run. The scene starts with a police officer.
I think here would be a good place to put up a notice.
But ask him. Would this be a good place for a poster?
Will we put up a notice here on the wall?
There's a flight of steps there that leads down to the wall. This is a place that should be minded well. If he got down there, his friends might have a boat to meet him. They might send it in here from outside.
Would the wall be a good place to put up a notice?
It might. You can put it up there. Dark hair, dark eyes, smooth face, height 5'5". There's not much to take hold of in that. It's a pity I'd no chance of seeing him before he broke out of jail. They said he's a wonder, that he makes all the plans for the whole organisation. There isn't another man in Ireland would have broken jail the way he did. He must have some friends among the jailers.
£100 is little enough for the government to offer for him. You may be sure any man in the force that takes him will get promotion.
I'll mind his place myself. I wouldn't wonder at all if he came this way. He might come creeping along there, and his friends might be waiting for him over there. And once he got away, there's little chance we'd ever find him. He's maybe under a load of kelp in a fishing boat, he'd be. And not one to help a married man that wants it to the reward.
And if we get him itself, nothing but abuse on our heads for it. From the people, or maybe from our own relations.
Well, we have to do our duty in the force. Haven't we the whole country depending on us to keep law and order? Those that are down would be up, and those that are up would be down if it wasn't for us. Then hurry on there. You have plenty more places to placard yet, and come back here then to me. You can take the lantern. Don't be too long now. It's very lonesome here with nothing but the moon.
It's a pity we can't stop with you. The government should have brought more police into town with him in jail. And at court time too. Well, good luck to your watch.
£100? Promotion, sure. There must be a great deal of spending in £100. It's a pity some honest man not to be the better of that. Where are you going?
I'm a poor ballad singer, Your Honour. I thought to sell some of these to the sailors.
Stop! Didn't I tell you to stop? You can't go down there.
It's a hard thing to be poor. All the world is against the poor.
Who are you?
You'd be as wise as myself if I told you. But I don't mind. I'm one Jimmy Walsh, a ballad singer.
Jimmy Walsh. I don't know that name.
I surely know it well enough in Ennis. Have you ever been in Ennis, Sergeant?
What brought you here?
Sure, it's to the courts I came, thinking I might make a few shillings here and there. It's in the one train with the judges I came.
Well, if you came so far, you may as well go farther, Frank. You'll walk out of this.
I will. I will. I'll just go on where I was going.
Where are you going? Come back to those steps. No one is leaving to pass down there tonight.
I'll just sit off the pillar here till I see some sailor buy a ballad of me that would give me my supper. They do be late going back to the ship. It's often I see them in Cork, carried down the quay in a handcart.
Move on, I tell you. I won't have anyone lingering about the quay tonight.
It's the poor that have the hard life. Maybe yourself might like one, Sergeant. Look, here's a good sheet, man. 110 and a pipe. You wouldn't like that one. The peeler and the goat. Oh, yes. Sorry, yeah, you wouldn't like that one. Sorry. Yeah. Skibbereen. That's a lovely song.
Move on.
Wait till you hear it, Sergeant. Oh, Father dear, and I often hear you speak of Erin Isle.
Stop that noise. Where are you going?
Sure, you told me to be going, and I'm going.
Don't be a fool. I didn't tell you to go that way. I told you to go back to the town.
Back to the town, is it?
Yeah, I'll show you. Be off with you. What are you stopping for?
I think I know what you're waiting for, Sergeant.
What's that to you?
And I know very well the man you're waiting for. I know him well. I'll be going.
You know him? Come back here. What sort is he?
Come back, he said, Sergeant. Do you want to have me killed?
Why do you say that?
Never mind. I wouldn't be in your shoes if that reward was 10 times as much. Not if it was 10 times as much.
Come back here. Come back. What sort is he? Where did you see him?
I saw him in my own place, in the County Clare. I tell you, you wouldn't want to be looking at him. You'd be afraid to be in the one place with him. There isn't a weapon he doesn't know the use of. And it's his strength. His muscles are as hard as that wall.
Oh, is he as bad as that?
He is dead.
Do you tell me so?
There was a poor man in our place, a sergeant from Ballyvaughan. It was with a lump of stone he did it.
Never heard about that.
And you wouldn't, Sergeant. It's not everything that happens that gets into the papers. And there was a policeman in plain clothes too. It was in Limerick he was. It was just after the time of the attack on the police barrack at Kilmallock. Moonlight. Just like this. Waterside. Nothing was known for certain.
Do you tell me so? That's a terrible county to belong to.
That's so indeed. You might be standing there, looking out this way, thinking you saw him coming up this side of the quay. But then he could be on the other side! And he'd be on you before you knew where you were.
Oh. There's a whole troop of police they ought to put here to stop a man like that.
But if you'd like me to stop with you, I could be sitting here. I could be looking down this way.
And you know him well too.
I'd know him a mile off, Sergeant.
You wouldn't want to be sharing the reward now, would you?
Is it a poor man like me that has to be going the roads and singing fairs to have the name on him that he took a reward? But you don't want me. I'll be safer in the town.
Well, you can stop.
Very well, Sergeant. I wonder now, Sergeant, you're not tired out now, are you? Walking up and down the way you are now.
If I am, I'm used to it.
Because you might have hard work before you know it's not yet. Take it easy while you can. There's plenty of space here. And you can think much better when you're sitting down.
Maybe so. You made me feel a bit queer there with the way you talked.
give me a match, Sergeant. Here, take a draw yourself. It'll quiet you. Hang on, what'll give you a match? But don't take your eye off that key now! Don't take your eye off it for the life of you.
Don't worry, I won't. Indeed, it's a hard thing to be in the force. Out at night and no thanks for all the danger we're in. And it's nothing we get but abuse from the people. And no choice but to obey our orders. I never asked when a man is sent into danger if you're a married man with a family.
All through the north as I walked, forth to view the shamrock plain. I stood a while where nature smiled, amid the rocks and streams. On a matron mild I cast my eyes beneath the fertile vale, and the song she sang as she walked on was me poor old Granuaile.
Stop that. That's no song to be singing in these times.
Sergeant, I'm only singing it to keep my heart up. It sinks when I think of him. I think of us two sitting here and he creeping up the quay maybe to get to us.
Are you keeping a good lookout?
I am. And for no reward too. Aren't I the foolish man? But when I saw a man in trouble, I never could help getting out of it. Ah! What's that? Something hit me!
You'll get your reward in heaven.
I know that, Sergeant. I know, but life is precious.
Well, you can sing if it gives you more courage.
Her head was bare, and a grey hair over eyes hung down. Her neck and waist, her hands and feet, with iron chains were bound. Her pensive strain and plaintive wail mingled with the evening gale, and the song she sang with mournful tongue was me poor old Granuaile. Her lips so sweet that monarchs kissed,
And that's not it. Her gown she wore was stained with gore. That's it. You missed that.
You're right, Sergeant. Her gown she wore was stained with gore. I missed that one, yeah. But to think of a man like you doing a song like that.
Well, There's many a thing a man might know and might not have any wish for.
Now, I dare say, Sergeant, in your youth, you used to be sitting up on a wall the way we're sitting down now, and the lads beside you, and you singing Gron You Whale.
I did.
And the Shan Van Vocht,
I did.
and the Green of the Cape.
That was one of them.
Maybe the man you're waiting for tonight used to be sitting up on a wall when he was young and singing those same songs. It's a queer world.
Wisht. I think I see something. It's only a dog.
It's a queer world, Sergeant. Maybe it's one of the boys you used to be singing with that time. You'd be arresting today or tomorrow and sending into the dock.
It's true enough.
And maybe one night, after you'd been singing, and the lads had told you some plan they had, some plan to free the country, that you might have joined with them. And maybe it's you that's in trouble now.
Who knows, but I might. I had great spirit in those days.
It's a queer world, Sergeant. And it's little any mother knows when she sees her child creeping on the floor, what might happen to it before it's gone through its life. Or who will be who in the end.
That's a queer thought now. True thought. Hold on now, can I think it out? If it wasn't for the sense I have and for my wife and family, for me joining the force the time I did, it might be myself now would be after breaking out of jail and hiding in the dark. It might be himself that's hiding in the dark and got out of jail, be sitting up here now. And maybe it's myself would be trying to make my escape from himself. And maybe himself would be keeping the law and myself would be breaking it. Or maybe myself would be trying to put a bullet in his head or pick up a lump of his stone the way you said he did or I did. Oh. What's that?
It's nothing, Sergeant.
I thought it might be a boat. I had a notion there might be friends of his coming about the quays with a boat.
Sergeant, I'm thinking it was with the people you were, and not with the law you were when you were a young man.
Well, if I was foolish then, that time is gone.
Maybe, Sergeant, it comes into your head sometimes, in spite of your hat and your tunic, that it might have been as well for you to have followed Gron You Whale.
Well, it's none of your business what I think.
Maybe, Sergeant, you'll be on the side of the country yet.
Don't talk to me like that. I have my duties and I know them. That was a boat. I hear the oars.
Oh, come tell me, Sean, how far away the gathering is to be. By the house, but by the river, right well known to you and me.
Stop that
One
noise.
word more, a single token, whistle up the marching tune. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon.
If you don't stop that noise, I'll arrest you. That was a signal. Stop, you can't go on there. Stand further back. Who are you? You're no ballad singer.
You need to ask who I am. That poster will tell you.
You're the man I'm looking for.
I am. There is £100 on my head. There's a friend of mine below in a boat. He knows a safe place to bring it in.
Oh, it's a pity. It's a pity. You deceived me. You deceived me well.
I'm a friend of Gráinne Mhaol. There is £100 on my head.
Oh, it's a pity. It's a pity.
Now, will you let me pass? Or must I make you let me?
Oh, I'm in the force. I'll not let you pass.
I thought to do this with my tongue. What is that?
This is where we left him.
My comrade's returning.
You won't betray me now. The friend of Gráinne Mhaol.
That was the last of the posters.
If he makes his escape now, it won't be a note he'll make.
Did anyone pass by this way?
No one.
No one at all.
No one at all.
We have no orders to go back to the station. We can stop along with you.
I don't want you. There's nothing for you to do here.
You begged us to come back here to keep watch with you.
I'd sooner be alone. Would any man come this way and you making on the talk? It's better the place to be quiet.
Well, we'll leave you the lantern anyhow.
I don't want to take it with you.
Oh, you might want it. You've clouds coming up in the darkness of the night before you yet. Look, I'll leave it here on the pillar.
Take it with you, I said. No more talk.
I just thought it might be a comfort to you. I often think when I have it in my hand and can be flashing it about into every dark corner. You know, it's the same as being at home beside the fire. And the bits of wood blazing up every now and again.
Be off, the two of you. Yourselves in your lantern. What are you waiting for?
For my hat, of course. And the wig. You wouldn't want to wish me to death of cold. Well, good night, comrade. And thank you. You did me a good turn tonight, and I'm obliged to you. Maybe I'll be able to do as much for you when the small rise up and the big fall down. When we all change places at the rising of the moon.
£100 you want. £100. I wonder now, am I as big a fool as I think I am?
And the sergeant calls himself a fool for being charmed by the embodiment of Ireland, of Irish people. That is a story that reminds the nation of who we are. Very good, lads. Racket man. A little bit more work on the singing next time, okay? Based on your reactions, I can tell none of you has seen this before, which is fine. Obviously, I would have loved if my work would have been the most read literature to have ever existed. But I would have least liked it to set alongside the Yeats poems or the Irish folklores I translated. The next one must have stood the test of time because it more realistically pits the Irish against the English. I'm sure this one makes waves across Ireland. It takes place at the gate of a jail. So the audience, of course, could place it at any jail around Ireland. So when they retell the story, they could tell it in their own town. I have only got 3 characters, but I named 2 of them Mary, because it seems like every second person was called Mary when I wrote this play. It begins before dawn, and in my mind, I imagined this happening simultaneously to the previous play. That somewhere else, hundreds of miles across the country, they both took place at the same night, under the same moon.
I'm thinking we're come to our journey's end, and that this should be the gate of the jail. It is certain it could be no other place. There was surely never in the world such a terrible grey height of a wall. He that was used to the mountain, to be closed up inside of that. What call he had to go moonlighting or to bring himself into any danger at all?
It is no wonder a man grow faint-hearted and he should away from the light. I never would wonder at all at anything he might be driven to say.
There were good men who were jailed before him, never gave in to anyone.
Sure, you heard
It
what the
is what
neighbours
I'm
were
thinking.
calling the time they came and brought their own boys away. It was Dennis Cal, they were saying, that had formed against them in the jail.
There's nothing that is bad or is wicked, but a woman will put it out of her mouth. And she, seeing them that belong to her, brought away from her sight and her home.
Terry Fury's mother was saying it, and Pat Rowan's mother and his wife came out calling it after me. It was Dennis swore against them in the jail. The sergeant was boasting, they were telling me, the day he came searching Derrick Hale. It was he himself that got his confession with drink he had bought Dennis in the jail.
They might have done that, the ruffians. And the boy have no blame on him at all. Why should it be cast up against him and his wits being out of him with drink?
If he did give their names up itself, maybe there was no wrong in it at all. Sure, it's known to all the village it was Terry that fired the shot.
Stop your mouth now. Don't be talking. You haven't any sense worthwhile. Let the sergeant do his own business with no help from the neighbours.
It was Pat Rowan that tempted them on account of some vengeance of his own. Every creature knows my poor Dennis never handled a gun in his life.
I wish we'd know what's in this letter they're after sending us through the post. Isn't it a great pity for the 2 of us to be without any learning at all?
Some of the neighbours have learning, and you, baby, not to bring it near them. Maybe he would have told us what way he is or what time he quit in the jail.
There's wonder on me, Mary Christian, that you may not be content with what I say. It might be they put down in this letter that Dennis have informed on the rest.
Suppose it's all we have to do, so sit here for the opening of the door. It's a terrible long road from Slieve Ecta. We were travelling the whole of the night.
There was no other thing for us to do but to come here and to give him a warning. What way would he be facing the neighbours? And he to come back to Derrick
It is likely they'll let him go free, Mary, before many days be out. What call have they to be keeping him? It is certain they promised him his life.
If they promised him his life, Mary Cushion, he must live it in some other place. Let him never see Darragale, or Darrada, or Drumdarrod.
Mary, what place do we bring him to? And we driven from the place that we know? What person that is sent among strangers can have one day's comfort on this earth?
It is only among strangers, I'm thinking. He could be hiding his story at all. It's best for him to go to America, where people are thick as grass.
And what way would he go to America and he having no means in his hand? There's himself and myself to make the voyage, and the little one in at home.
I would sooner to sell the holding than to ask for the price paid for blood. There'll be money enough for the two of you to settle your debts and to go.
And what would yourself be doing on we to go over the sea? It's not among the neighbours you wish to be ending your days.
I'm thinking no one would know me at the workhouse at Dr. Ard. I wonder, could I go in there and I not to give them my name?
Don't be talking foolishness. What way will we bring the child? Sure, he's hardly out of the cradle. He'd be lost out there in the States.
I could bring him into the workhouse. And to give him some other name, you could call for him and you'd be settled or have some place of your own.
It is cold here at the dawn. Is it time for them to open the door? I wish I had brought a potato or a cake or bread.
I'm in dread of it being opened and not knowing what will we hear. The night that Dennis was taken, he had a great cold and a cough.
I think I hear someone coming. There's a sound like a rattling of keys. God and his mother have mercy on us, for I am in dread of being found here at all.
What are you doing here, women? It's no place to be spending the night time.
It is to speak with my son I am asking, that has been jailed here these 8 weeks and a day.
If you have no order to visit him, it's as good for you. Go away home.
I got this letter here yesterday, but my beat has given me leave.
If that's so, you should be under the doctor or in the hospital ward.
It's no wonder he's down with the hardship, for he had a great cold and a cough.
Give me here the letter to read it. Sure, it never was opened at all.
Myself and this woman have no learning. We were not to trust any other one.
It was posted in Galway the 20th. And this is the last of the month?
We never thought to call at the post office. It was chance brought it to us in the end.
You poor unfortunate women. Don't you know Dennis Cahill is dead? You had a right to come this time yesterday if you wished any last word at all.
God and his mother protect us and have mercy on Dennis's soul.
What does this man have to say? Sure it cannot be that Dennis is dead.
Dead since the dawn of yesterday. And another man now in his cell. I'll go see who was charged with his clothing, if you're wanting to bring it away.
There's lasting kindness in heaven, when no kindness is found upon earth. There will surely be mercy for him, and not the hard judgment of man. But my boy, to have died with his name under blemish, and left a great shame on his child. It's better for him to have killed the whole world than to give any witness at all. Have you no word to say, Mary Cushion? Am I left here to keep him alone?
Oh, Dennis. My heart is broke, for you have died with the hard word upon you. My grief
You to be alone now that spent so many nights in company. What way will I be going back through Gurth and through Kilbecanton? The people will not be coming out keening you. They will say no prayer for the rest of your soul. What way will I be Sunday and I going up the hill to Mass? Every woman with their own comrade and Mary Cushion to be walking her alone? What way will I be Monday and all the neighbours turning their heads from the house? The turf Dennis Court lying on the bog and no well-wisher to bring it to the heart? What way will I be in the night time and none but the dog screaming after you? 2 women mixing a cake and not a man in the house to break it? What way will I sow the field and no man to drive before? The sheaf to be scattered before springtime that was brought together before the harvest. But I will not begrudge you, Dennis, and you leaving praises after you. The neighbours keening along with me would be better to me than an estate. But my grief, your name to be blackened in the time of the blackening of the rushes. Your name never to rise up again in the growing time of the year. But tell me, Mary, do you think they'll give us the body of Dennis? I could lay it out with myself only. I could hire some man to dig the grave.
There now. He's all he brought in. Flannels in the shirt. There are the shoes. Tis little they are worth altogether, those mountainy boys, to be poor.
They had a right to give him time to ready himself the day they brought him to the magistrates. He'd be wearing his Sunday coat. They would see he was a decent boy. Tell me where they will bury him. That way I can follow after him through the street. There's no other to show respect to him but Mary Cal, his mother, and myself.
That is not to be done. He is buried since yesterday, in the field that is belonging to the jail.
It is a great hardship that have been done, and not one of his own to follow after him at all.
Those that break the law must be made an example of. Why would he be laid out like a well-behaved man? A long rope and a short burying, that is the order for a man that is hanged.
A man that was hanged? Oh, Dennis, was it they that made an end of you and not the great God at all? My curse and his curse upon them that did not let you die on the pillow. The curse of God be fulfilled that was on them before they were born. My curse upon them that brought harm on you, and on Terry Fury that fired the shot.
And the other boys, that they hanged them along with him, Terry Fury and Pat Rowan, that were brought from Darracale.
They did not but set them free 12 hours ago. It is likely you may have passed them in the night time.
Set free, is it? And Dennis made an end of? What justice is there in this world at all?
He was taken near the house. They knew his footmark. There was no witness given against the rest worthwhile.
Then the sergeant was lying, and the people were lying, when they said Dennis Cahill had formed on the rest.
I have no time to be stopping here talking. The judge got no evidence and the law set them free.
Are there any people on the street till I call on them to come hither? Did they ever hear in Gaul where such a thing to be done? A man to die for his neighbour. Tell it out on the streets for the people to hear. Dennis Scahill from Sleep Ecca is dead. It was Dennis Scahill from Darrakale that died in the place of his neighbor. It was he, was young and comely and strong, and the best reaper and the best hurler. It was not a little thing for him to die. And he, protecting his neighbor. Gather up, Mary Cushion. The clothes for your child. They'll be wanted by this one and that one. The boys crossing the sea in the springtime will be craving a thread for a memory. One word to the judge, and Dennis was free. They offered them all sorts of riches. They brought him drink in the jail and gold to swear away the life of his neighbor. Patron was no good friend to him at all, but a foolish wild companion. It was Terry Fury who knocked the gap in the wall and sent in the calves into our meadow. Dennis would not speak. He'd never be an informer. It is no lies at all. He would have said, given witness against Terry Fury. I will go through Gord and kill Bacanti and Darada and Drumdarrod. I will call on the people and the singers to make a great praise for Dennis. The child he has left in the house, that is sure. It is his great will be in his boast in his father. All Ireland will have a welcome before him, and all the people in Boston. Aye, to stoop on a stick through 100 years, I will never be tired of praising. Come hither, Mary Cushion, till we shout through the roads. Dennis Scahill died for his neighbor.
And it seems I wrote my plays just for the same. No one knows the jail gate either. I did not write it for fame. I wrote it for the same reason Dennis Cahill chose to die. It was not just about me. It was about preserving my community, not allowing us to forget who we are. I wrote the plays not for the world stage, but for the Abbey, so the country can start telling our stories. A small part of me would have liked to be remembered, my plays to be staged endlessly. If none of you have seen this, if none of you speak Irish, has anything I've done make a difference at all? Or did my work only hurt the cause? Did my translations make it easy for our language to be forgotten? Do my plays get staged or even read at all? Does the Abbey remember my name? What would it take? How close was I to making a change? One more play? One more paragraph? What line or word would have solidified my place in history? I did not set out to be remembered, but I wanted to make a change. I wanted to be someone that would be remembered.